The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Top of the morning, Raider Nation. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Welcome to another episode of the Morning After. Yesterday, the Cowgirls beat the Raiders 31-16, but it was a last preseason game, which we got to analyze the bottom part of the roster as far as who makes the 53 out of the 91 that we do have. And I expect moves coming as well as additions from other teams that they might go that they've been looking at and bringing in to replace the ones that they feel don't fit the puzzle. So with that being said, man, good morning, everybody. Top of the AM, man. Thank y'all for pulling up. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. A lot to talk about. Potential 53-man roster. You know what I mean? Shakedown as far as who's going to stay and who's going to go. There were some good performances last night, and then there were some disappointments last night as well. We're going to get into all that, man, but thank y'all. Shout out to the world's most dangerous chat, NWA all day. You feel me? Let me go ahead and get into this one time. You feel me? Yes, indeed. Top of the morning to my guy, Robert Pena, man. Salute to you. Thank you for being here. Eugene Powell, man. What is the deal, man? Salute. Thank you for being here. Let's see. We got Sinister Rain 89. What is the deal, man? Top of the morning. Thank you for pulling up. Sebastian Gonzalez, my dude, man. Top of the morning to you. Yes, sir, man. We got Aces in the building. Just subscribe, man. I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Hey, you're always welcome. We damn near do a show a day, bro. You know what I mean? This season, it will be a show a day. All 7 days of the week, you will get at least one show. And then on the weekends, generally, it'll pan out to about 2 shows a day. Lies. You know what I mean? And I'll sprinkle in some videos along the way as well. We're bringing back Raider Drip, which I introduced some of the newest hats and so forth of the Raider Nation. We also do a cooking show. There will be tailgating every home game. I'll be at the tailgates bringing you guys all that. So there's a lot of content coming your way for 2023-24 season. Yes, indeed. Hopefully we finish in February in Vegas at the Super Bowl. You dig? Yes, indeed. Shout out to my guy, Snoops Hernandez, man. Salute to you. Thank you for pulling up. It's a pleasure to have you here. We the people. My dude, man. Top of the morning. Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. Yeah, we're going to get into this, man. And we're going to talk about it. Like I said, there was some good, production last night, but then there was some disappointments. I wasn't really too... Shelly to me is on that bubble, man, but I don't have Shelly making. Well, I ain't gonna get to that part. Defense, I'm not gonna do defense today. I'm gonna stick with offense. Then tomorrow morning, we will do the offensive side of the ball the defense as far as who I think makes the team. But I do have my defense set as far as who I think is staying and who might be going. And like I say, this is all speculation. Ain't none of this written in stone. All of us we're assuming this is the route they go, but we never know what goes on behind those closed doors inside of the facility as far as what they think, who they think fits what they're trying to do. You know what I mean? So we'll get into that. Another one, I think, Palomar, I think he goes to the practice squad. I'm just going to leave little tidbits on defense out there. We're going to get into the offense, though. Palomar, I think, goes to the practice squad. I was very disappointed in him, but he is raw talent. He did make a couple of good plays, but then he took bad angles on others. Offensive line, since we're getting, matter of fact, let's get into the offense now. Before I start, let me make sure I see what everybody talking about in the chat, because y'all might got some good, well, not might, y'all always do have good questions. I don't want to overlook. Let me see. Jacobs is back, bruh. Jacobs is back. There's another surprise addition to the running back core that I made. You know what I mean, with his production yesterday. Darian Williams is my last. I'm saying that the offense will carry. Last year they carried 6 running backs. I'm gonna say they carry 5 this year, and I think Darian Williams is that 5th guy. You know what I mean? Because there's no Britton Brown. I think Sincere McCormick goes to the practice squad, and we'll get into it. We're gonna go down the whole list. I just want to make sure I got everybody's question. And no other running back on our team. And we the people. To be honest with you, nobody on the running backs was even meant to take over the number 1 running back. Like I said, if Josh Jacobs didn't come this season or the beginning part, it would have been by committee. I think it'll be on the fence. It'll be somewhat committee, but I think it's going to be majority Josh Jacobs. Come on now. We know what he brings to the table. You don't just sign him for $12 million, up to $12 million, and just think he only going to get like 5, 6 carries, 7 carries, 8 carries amongst everybody else. He's the head honcho. You know what I mean? He's the head honcho, bruh. He's getting those runs. The thing we was trying to do without him was give everybody they burn to fall behind him. We know Zamir's not ready because he ain't getting the reps. Now he got some good reps in camp, but camp and real games is 2 different things. Can you handle a whole 17-game workload? You know what I mean? And you got to remember, Zamir White was never the main focal point of a running back system coming out of college. He wasn't a run by committee. Georgia ran by committee. He wasn't the same thing with Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs came from Alabama. That was done by committee. So these guys are committee type running backs. It's just Josh Jacobs got the majority of the carries and produced more. And that offensive line, though, you got to remember, none of those guys out there behind Josh Jacobs ran behind the number 1 rushing. Come on, bruh. That number 1 offensive line, the ones. That's a hell of an offensive line. You know what I mean? Now put Zamir and them behind them and let's see what they can do. Because that's not fair to say that, you know what I mean? Well, I know, like I said, ain't nobody on this team at number 1. That's not how we're going to run this. But Josh Jacobs kind of changes that because he's not an average running back by far. And he's not developing. He's already developed. So you would have to give leeway because Josh Jacobs didn't come in his rookie year and rush for 1,600 yards. His second year, he didn't have 1,600 yards. It took him, his 4th year he just played? It took him 4 years to get to 1,600 yards. But you can't just solely put it on him getting 16. There's a lot of stuff that comes into play, like I said, your offensive line. Your offensive line was ranked 12th last year. And just imagine, your whole offensive line was 12th last year in the first year of learning the system. That's why I said this year, watch what the offensive line do this year. Don't be surprised if our run game, total, is leading the league. I'm talking about everybody at it. You know what I mean? Hey, don't be surprised if they're leading the league because that's a hell of 5 fucking offensive line, bro. And I'm curious to see. I'm saying, okay, let's get into this, bro. We getting outside on these positions. I want to get through all the positions. So let's start with the QBs. Last year, the Raiders carried two QBs last year, right? Because they kept Garbers on the I said Garbers. Yeah. Kept Garbers on the practice squad, right? So I'm knowing it's gonna be Jimmy G, Brian Hoyer, and Aiden O'Connell. They're gonna keep 3. There's a reason why Garoppolo and Hoyer did not play. I told you. You gotta bring Connell along. You don't force feed him. There's no reason to force feed O'Connell. Let him develop. He had an okay game yesterday, but no touchdowns, no, you know what I mean? He didn't get sacked, no interceptions. You know what I mean? It was a good showing. The thing I love is no turnover. That's the number 1 most important thing to me from a quarterback on offense is do not turn the ball over. And that did not happen. You know what I mean? Yeah, they got to think they won the Super Bowl. They quarterback tore his ass up, but they releasing him for Trey Lance. What a hell of a prize. But you got to remember who was playing yesterday. Like I said, week 3 of the preseason is the bottom of your 90 roster playing. Try to make the team. Like 90% of these people out there is not making the team. Now you might have 1 or 2 or 3 guys that's fighting for that last spot of the roster, but that's who you seen out there. Now we let Aiden O'Connell get his burn because that's the only time he gonna get his burn. He ain't gonna get no burning. The only time I see Aiden O'Connell, well, shit. Because if they keep Brian Hoyer at number 2 and Garoppolo and them go out there and we blow out motherfuckers in the fourth quarter, there's no need to have the starters out there. Do you let O'Connell get the burn in a real NFL game, or you let Hoyer just go out there and just finish it up, clean up? You know what I mean? He's the mop and broom. All he got to do is just don't turn the ball over and just wait for the clock to hit 0. I don't know. It all depends on how they look at it. Dallas ain't. Hey, and here's the thing: they traded for Trey Lance, and then they came out and said that they still expect to give Dak Prescott an extension. Okay. Oh my God! Sometimes some organizations. Hey! Let me tell you this, Jerry Jones. It might be time, bro. For you to go ahead and exit stage left and let your sons and whoever else is involved handle that shit. Cause, bro, some of the decisions y'all making is suspect. You spent a 4th round pick on a quarterback that's pretty much a bust. He can't stay healthy. For what? What you gonna do with him? What, come bring him in for RPOs and shit? So you know what I mean? What the fuck is he? What he's there for? Don't they have who's the other Cowboys quarterback? Ain't it Rush? It's Rush, ain't it? I don't know, man. That's their business. It don't matter what the Cowboys do. They don't never do shit. That's why I say they depressed. Ain't that right? Stan? Sure, you're right. All right, so let's go ahead and let's dig into the what I was getting into. Okay, now the quarterback position. Last year we carried 2 quarterbacks last year. This year is because it was Carr and fucking God dang it. I'm drawing a blank like that. Fucking Stidham gone. Stidham went to Denver. Garbage was on the practice squad last year, protected. I think he goes back there if they keep him, but I know they'll keep him. You got to keep him on the practice squad. That's just another project for Josh McDaniels. All right, so I said we keep 3 with Jimmy G, Brian Hoyer, and Aiden O'Connell. Now the running back position. Last year we kept 6. I'm saying we only gonna keep 5 this year, and that's Josh Jacobs, Zamir White. Who else I got? Brandon Bolden. I know Brandon Bolden will stay. Amir Abdullah, and then the 5th guy, Darian Williams. Darian Williams got off last night. This fool here, 6 carries, 54 yards with 1 touchdown, and his longest run is that 24-yard touchdown. I think him being a young veteran, I say young because he ain't in his hundreds, but him being a veteran, the dude ran hard yesterday. Now I know it's against the 3s and the 4s and the people that's gonna be knocking on the door of the practice squad, but that's the only body of work we can really go by is what he did last night. So I think he makes it. There's no Britton Brown, Sincere McCormick. Like I said, I think he goes to the practice squad. And yeah, that's my 5 right there. I don't think they go 6. I think they just go 5 this year. Wide receivers. Now, last year, wide receivers, we went with 5. I think we go 6 this year. The reason being because of special teams. DeAndre Carter and Trey Tucker is going to man down the kickoff and punt returns. You know what I mean? So with that being said, you're going to have your Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, DeAndre Carter, And then here we go, y'all. Here's another one. Fucking Wilkerson. I think Keelan Cole gone. Wilkerson is there. Wilkerson killed it yesterday, y'all. This dude, I was surprised. 10 receptions, 122 yards, with 13 or 29 yards being his long on 13 targets. 122 yards on 10 receptions. Bruh, I'm fucking with it. I'm fucking with it. For real, for real. I'm fucking with it for real. That motherfucker, man, he was catching everything. You know what I mean? Even in traffic, he was catching shit. You know what I mean? Now there was a nice little play some other players made, but he stood out. He was like you can tell who O'Connell was comfortable in throwing to. You know what I mean? Wilkerson was that dude. I think he gets that last receiving spot. And like I said, I don't think they keep as many running backs. So that's why I say that running back, that extra spot from the running back, because last year they had 6, and I'm thinking they're doing 5 this year. That extra spot will go to the wide receivers and bring them, because last year the wide receivers were 5, and I think there'll be 6 this year. So that's what I'm thinking with that one. Navy Vet, salute to you, Navy Vet. Thank you for pulling up, my brother. Thank you. Yeah, you want to see him in a regular season game, but like I said, he's a rookie, a 4th-round rookie. There's no need to push him. Let him develop. Because you got other guys like Mahomes that sat on the bench. You got Aaron Rodgers who sat on the bench. So that way of approaching shit, it works. Look at those 2 guys. Both of them got Super Bowls from sitting on the bench from learning. So just let O'Connell learn. There's no reason to push him. You don't have to do too much with him. Let him go at his pace. You know what I mean? And right now his pace is working. It's working. You know what I mean? Now you might get a chance to see him at the, say for instance, we solidify a playoff berth and everything is, or maybe we don't make the playoffs, but I'm putting my bottom dollar on it. They'll be in contention. At the end of the season, when maybe the week 17 or week 18 don't matter, maybe you know what I mean, you throw them up in there. Or like I said, if we get a blowout, maybe Hoyer be like, you know what I mean, Hoyer ain't tripping. Hoyer probably say put O'Connell in there. Let him get some burn. Because O'Connell even let it be known he's working with Garoppolo and Hoyer. They've been helping him a whole lot. That's why I said 2 teachers is better than 1. Facts. 2 teachers is better than 1. You got one with the most experience, but you got one with the physical ability to carry out that experience in Garoppolo. And I said it's a beautiful thing for Aiden O'Connell to be on the sideline and watch Garoppolo play, and at the same time be able to inquisite Hoyer about what he's seeing. So now he's getting information of what's going on while he's seeing what's going on at the same time in real time. You don't have to wait till after the drive, and then when Garoppolo come out and then ask him, he's going to be too busy to be talking to the head coach or the offensive coordinator about what they seen during that drive and what the fix. That's what he got to focus on. But Hoyer could be in Aiden O'Connell's ear explaining what's going on out there on the field at the same time. That's a beautiful experience. That's a beautiful experience, man. And that's what I think that's going to help the development of O'Connell. But right now it looks like O'Connell is our future. He's our future. Just keep developing. And that's exactly what Champ Kelly said. Because they was like, oh, Aiden O'Connell, you know, he came out and did good. He said, yeah, but he said, what do you see in O'Connell? He's still developing. He still needs development. Everybody's giving him the crown. You can't let him do his thing so we have him ready when it's time for him to take over. If it's him, that's, you know what I mean? Because Caleb Williams did his thing yesterday for USC, y'all. You know what I mean? I'm not a USC fan, but yeah, he out there, he's slinging them balls, bro. Like he a male prostitute. He's slinging balls. But with that being said, man, that's it. What I have for the wide receiver. Now for tight end, last year we carried 3 tight ends. I'm assuming we do the same this year with Michael Meyer, Austin Hooper, and Fotheringham. Horsted, I'm not really impressed by. I'm not impressed by. But Fotheringham, what he did the other when he played, you know what I mean? I was like, okay, he's a gamer. He's a gamer. So I think that's the three tight ends that we carry. Offensive line. Last year we carried 8 offensive linemen. I think we do the same thing this year. I think we do the same thing this year. And I think what it comes down to, I think it's going to be, y'all going to have, I got a surprise for y'all when we get to this part. I think, of course, Colton Miller, left tackle. Parham is going to be left guard. We're going to have Andre James at center. Unfortunately, it's going to be Alec Bars, but I know the team really likes Alec Bars. He's under a 1-year deal. I think if he's going to get that starting right guard spot, but I think this is going to be it. Illuminor is going to be the right tackle, but he's under a 1-year deal as well, and I think this might be it. You know what I mean? Let them two start this year. I think that's just to be able to groom up. Here's my selections. Listen to this. That's my 5. The three remainder to make up the 8. Of course, Thayer Munford. I know he'll stay. Here's the 2 surprises. I think it's going to be McClendon Curtis and Dalton Wagner. Dalton Wagner, McClendon Curtis. Curtis, known to play right guard. Wagner, right tackle. I think you go ahead and let them learn behind Illuminor and Bars. It's not far-fetched to have a rookie get up in there because last year we did it with Parham and Munford. So I know that, at least the coaches and stuff, they'll throw you in there. And they have you playing in multiple spots. So now you become accessible to be able to play other positions if somebody goes down with an injury or whatnot. But I think Wagner and Curtis, you cannot cut these 2 dudes and expect them to clear waivers and get them back on the practice squad. That's not, they won't make it. They don't make it. The reason being they won't make it is because there is a reason why the Raiders gave these guys both over $200,000 fully guaranteed to choose us as undrafted, because there were other teams that were in there trying to get their services as well. So we had to outbid them to bring them here. If you outbid other teams on an undrafted, that means you really have your eyes set on those undrafteds, and they produced well. Wagner did great. He did great as an undrafted. McClendon Curtis has all the NFL strength in the world and just is a bully. You can't afford to cut these 2 dudes and expect them to clear waivers, because offensive linemen, that's a commodity. That's a commodity in the NFL, because a lot of these guys go down with injuries. A lot of these guys might be on 1-year deals, and then you're trying to figure out where do we go behind, to fill that void. Of course, you can go into the draft, but the draft is a crapshoot. You don't know who's going to be there, and do they fit what you're trying to do? Look what happened when we went out and got Leatherwood. Where he at? Gone. So you got to make sure, if you got somebody right now that you feel you can develop into being starters, you don't let no other team try to grab their ass. Pause. You don't let nobody grab their ass. For real. Because like I say, offensive linemen are a commodity. You must have them, and you must have more than one. Facts. They in the trenches. Let me see. Nutty Raider Nate in the building, man. Tops to you. Tony Sheffer, what's the deal, man? Top of the morning to you. Brandon Bolden, I got him making the squad, dude. I think, but we're not keeping as many running backs this year. This is my opinion. It's not factual. We're all guessing. Last year we kept 6 running backs. I think this year only 5. But with Brandon Bolden gone, and I think Sincere McCormick goes to the practice squad. So I think Bolden makes the team, as well as Abdullah and Darren Williams. Now I like Darren Williams since we got him, and he ain't even played the whole preseason. But his effort, bro, his effort. Little compact motherfucker. Hey, that motherfucker run his ass off. So Bolton, I think you keep Bolton. Everybody has their own thing they bring to the table in the running back. That's what they said. They're not all the same type of running backs. See, that's why I sit here and trip how we trying to compare who's gonna be the next main running back behind Josh Jacobs. There's no Josh Jacobs but Josh Jacobs on this team. You know what I mean? There's none. There's no Bolton but Bolton on this team. There's no Darren Williams but Darren Williams. You know what I mean? And there's definitely no Abdullah. So it's like, in the passing game, blocking, oh shit. Well, we keep a fullback. You know what I mean? I forgot to add what's name at fullback, but that's automatic. He the only fullback we got. You know what I mean? He the only fullback we got. So, but we talk about as far as running backs go, though, I think we just keep 5. We keep 5 and not 6. The offensive lineman, like I said, like I was talking about, Curtis and Wagner, I don't think you try to risk it and cut them. At least one of the two, probably, if in their mindset, they might keep one and then try to release one and bring them to the practice squad. But I don't think you can do that, bro. I don't think, not if they potentially could be your future. You don't let another team come grab the dudes you really want. And they really wanted them because they've spent damn near $500,000 on these two, and usually undrafteds are around the $75,000 mark. You know what I mean? As undrafteds. So they paid top dollar to make sure they came to the Raiders, and I think they're going to do all they can to keep them here. Excuse me. What's going on, Eddie Willis? Hey, thank you for pulling up. I agree. Number 32, D. Williams. Yeah, man, I think he played his way at that last running back spot, man. Now, they might surprise me and go 6 again. You know what I mean? If they go 6, then hey, I'm not tripping. That's a good shit. That's good shit. But this is just what I see and what I think as far as rounding out. We already know the starters. The starters is no brainer. What we're trying to figure out is the bottom of the 53. You know what I mean? The bottom end of this roster. And I think some of these players like Drake Thomas on defense, hey, Drake Thomas, hey, shout out to you. You know what I mean? So Verrett Nesta, hey, Aldi and Bernie, keep all the young rookies. I don't see none of them going to the practice squad. Nope. Continue to let these guys develop. They're ready. Let them develop. Let them develop. And it ain't like we and there was a couple of corners out there, bro. Like I said, Palomalu's going to the practice squad, bro. They're gonna release him. I think he clear waivers, but then again, his measurables make him stand out. 6'4" safety that what a 4.3 was it 4.3 540? That shit you can't teach. All you got to do is teach this guy to make the right decisions. You know what I mean? Take the right angles on tackles. Because I say he went a little too far outside, and the motherfucker, what was it, the quarterback cut back in, and he couldn't get to him. I like Tyree Wilson. You got to remember, that was Tyree Wilson's first time playing in a game. You see the way he bull rushed that motherfucker, that tackle? He pushed that motherfucker all the way back in the backfield, bruh. Hey, Tyree gonna be all right, bruh. He got to get his feet wet. And I love the way that they moved him around. He was on one side, then they moved him to the other. So now we get an idea. Tyree gonna be moved all over the place. You might see him at DT, right in, left in. Hey, you don't know where you're gonna see Tyree. You know what? If he can be disruptive and Max Crosby can groom him to be another him, that's gonna be a problem for defenses. I mean, on offenses, bro. Because not only do you have to worry about Max Crosby, you're gonna have to worry about, hey, where the fuck is number 9? Where 9 at? You know what I mean? You got to worry about 9. You got to worry about 98. You got to worry. And I love the secondary, the people that's going to make the team. Hey, the effort they put out there, the way they swarm, bro. And I'm talking about the topper end of the roster, not what we seen last night. Like I said, the guys we seen last night, a lot of them ain't going to make the team. Probably 1 or 2. You know what I mean? Just to fill out positions on the roster. That's why I don't trip off of yesterday's game. Only week 1 and week 2 of the preseason, what you pay attention to. You'll get some starters out there. You'll get a lot of tools. You know what I mean? But that third, since they cut it down to only 3 preseason games, the third one, that preseason game ain't shit. Like I said, a lot of these motherfuckers gonna be free agents come Tuesday. They're gonna be free agents. But what we got on our team to round out our roster, bro, I like, because just those last couple of positions at the bottom, like say for wide receiver, the last spot for wide receiver, you probably got 2 people fighting for him, which I think we had Wilkerson and Keelan Cole fighting for that spot. I think Wilkerson got that shit. I see Aiden O'Connell is very confident in Wilkerson, but you got to remember Wilkerson has familiarity in this offensive system due to him playing with New England. You know what I mean? So and you can tell, you can watch the way he was, man, and he got good hands. He did not disappoint me, bro. 122 yards. You know what I mean? People say, "Oh, but that's the third and fourth string." What fucking string you think Wilkerson was? What string you think he trying to make the team as? He ain't gonna beat out Devontae, Renfro, you know, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, DeAndre Carter. He ain't gonna beat them out. People might say DeAndre Carter and Trey Tucker, but no, them is your special team specialists. That's your kickoff and punt returners. That's why they gonna make the roster. They also have a fit for the special teams. We got to remember special teams as well. Casper, what's the deal, man? Top of the morning. Hey, you think the Broncos would? Hey, you know what I mean? Probably might be Keelan Cole if they let him go. Wilkerson showed me, bro. Hey, he runs his routes nice. He got good hands. I seen the one when he went down and then boom, stopped on the dime, came back ball, and Aiden had to. Shout out to Aiden O'Connell. He had that ball right there as soon as he turned around, bro. It was a wrap. And then the way he just threaded into him, he had coverage on his back, but strong hands. Wilkerson has strong hands, Paul. You know what I mean? Wilkerson's hands is, I like him. I'm like, when he showed me that, I'm like, okay, bro. And then the game before that, though, it's not just a one-hit wonder. Wilkerson did his thing in week 2. Let me go back and see what the fuck. Hold on real quick, y'all. I want to go back and look at their stats from the previous game, which was pretty much the most important, because don't forget the starters came out in that game that week 2. Let me see. We played the Rams. So we seen Wilkerson had 122 yards yesterday. Last week, we see receiving, and we looking at Wilkerson. Wilkerson had 5 receptions for 54 yards and a TD. That was last week. And this week he bust out with 122. So on 54 yards, you damn near looking at just under 10 yards of reception. God dang. No, a little more than 10 yards of reception. Almost 11 yards, just under 11 yards of reception. With a touchdown. That was last week. This week, this motherfucker come out there. And Wilkerson, 10 receptions, 122 yards. His longest is 29 yards on 13 targets. He was targeted 13 times and caught 10 of them for 122, bro. And we're talking about a receiver that won't be a starter, but he will be a nice piece to add in there. And like I said, he knows this system. He comes from it. Let me get down to the real. Let me see exactly what he had. You figure at only 26 years old, he got good measurables. 6'1", 214. That's a nice receiver right there, bro. That's a nice ass fucking. Hold on, I want to see exactly. Yeah, he spent 3 seasons with the Patriots. So yeah, he's been there, bruh. Yeah, I think Keelan Cole practice squad. I know Keelan Cole was on the practice squad last year. You know what I mean? But a thirsty ass team that needs a wide receiver might go the Keelan Cole route. Man down, top of the morning to you. No, I don't think Dorsett makes it, bruh. Like I said, the only reason why is because Trey Tucker and Andre Carter, they're special team guys. Punt and kick return. And you're not gonna use Dorsett for that shit. You know what I mean? I don't think we can, and I think Wilkerson. Like I said, this is not factual. This is just my opinion. Everybody has their own opinion as far as who makes the roster. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. We're just trying to guess and see what the front office does. So, I mean, hey, maybe Dorsett does make it. You know what I mean? Maybe he makes it. I know Hunter for a fact is gonna make it. Adams is for a fact. You said Wilkerson. I said that too. I think he's the last spot on the team. Of course, Carter, but you're not gonna get rid of Trey Tucker, bruh. That's your draft pick. Trey Tucker ain't going. No, he ain't going. You're not cutting Trey Tucker. You can't. Where you gonna find that speed at? You know, and some people say it's some of the drops, but what about all the catches he made? He got way more catches than drops, and all those motherfucking drops was he was going to the ground with the ball. Plus special teams, he serves his purpose too. So. That's one thing you're not gonna cut Trey Tucker, bro. Somebody like who said that Denver probably grabbed one of our wide receivers, bro. I'm not having that shit. They can have one of the ones we don't want. You know what I mean? You can have one of them dudes. Who is it? Cam Sims? Hey, he made a hell of a catch, but I think that's the only catch he made. Hold on. Let me see some. Yes, sir. Let me see. JB, top of the morning to you on the good foot. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Ziegler, he made some good decisions this year, man. But see, we still gotta wait for him to really hit the field week 1. I can't wait for that shit. Oh, I can't wait to take on the Donkeys. 2 red rings in this motherfucker, man. What's the deal, man? That probably could happen too, Red Wing. Hey, that's why I said we're only talking about the people on this team now. We ain't said nothing about the other 31 teams that's releasing players that they might have a log jam at a certain position that we don't, and be, oh shit, look who they just released. You know what I mean? That's the kind of thing you got to pay attention to. Yes, sir. Let me see. Yeah, Tucker got that speed, bro. Like, this is what you got to look at. He did drop a couple of touchdowns, but he had his man beat. You know what I mean? What other receiver you gonna have that's gonna beat that man like it the way he did? Like, it wasn't shit. It wasn't like he was running hard. When he just took off, it was like he was leaving that dude, bro. And he had the ball. It's just when he went down to the ground and hit the ground, that shit, he couldn't hold on to it. It ain't like he can't catch. It's like he can't hold on to the catch when he hit the ground. That's what it seemed like to me. But then you see him make some big catches, like, bruh, like the other time when he caught the ball, but he was out of bounds. Well, they said he was out of bounds. You know what I mean? He caught that ball on the sideline, on the left sideline. Hey, shout out to everybody that's here, man. If this is your first time here, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button, man. Hit that thumbs up, man. Rock and rolling with the nation. You feel me? Thank y'all for pulling up. This is the morning after. After every game this season, the next following day, we are doing the morning after, and we're going to discuss what we've seen and how we get better, and or what do we continue to keep doing. But shout out to all you guys for pulling up this morning, man. I appreciate y'all for real. Austin Raider, what's the deal, man? Tops to you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they get out there and get linebackers, but you got to remember, our main linebackers wasn't out there, bruh. Our main linebackers didn't play last night. That's why everybody you seen last night just about is at the bottom of the roster, backup positions, like the very last backup positions. You know, you still got your Diablos, and you got your Spillanes and Mastersons. You know what I mean? You got your Amari Bernies. You know what I mean? So you got some guys on there, and I wouldn't even say that they won't grab any more linebackers. It's about what linebackers get released from these other teams that might be an upgrade considering what you have. You know what I mean? That's going to be very important to see what happens. And I say you're starting to see releases now. There's trades happening as well. Never count out trades either. I done seen player for player trades with New England, and they got Tyrone Wheatley Jr. They made a trade. So that shit, matter of fact, I should be keeping my eye on Twitter for updates, because I'm knowing you possibly can see some trades happening as well, y'all. Some of these guys that might get released, other teams will be interested. Oh, let me grab them before any other team grab them off waivers. You know what I mean? Thus, why Trey Lance got traded. Because if they couldn't find no trade partner for Lance, guess what would have happened? He would have got cut. Somebody would have claimed him, because they said there was other teams that was interested in trading for him, but I don't think they wanted to give him no 4th round pick like Cowboys did. That's why we laugh at the Cowboys. A 4th round pick for a bust? And he's not even going to be the backup. I don't even think he's going to be the backup, bro. Jamil Akbar, what's the deal, man? Thank you for pulling up, man. Appreciate you. Lil Rock, I already know Lil Rock in the building. Yes, indeed. Arkansas. Arkansas is in the building. All right, hold on. Let me see so real quick. I'll be getting the alerts. All right. It's a good thing we got Josh Jacobs back, y'all, ain't it? Look, this what Mo and speaking of linebacker, y'all hit this shit on the head too. Mo Moton, right? Y'all know who Mo Moton is. He said, I can see the Raiders trading for a linebacker and or an offensive tackle within the next 48 hours. Like I said, pay attention to trades. See, they saying that shit, linebacker trades and offensive linemen. See, they're talking about an offensive tackle. They're talking about a veteran. You know what I mean? Or depth. Would it be the left? Well, we know Illuminor can play left tackle too. But if Colton Miller ever go down, knock on wood, and you put Illuminor over there, who takes a spot at the right? Are you ready for a rookie to take over the starting spot? Like I told you, and I love Curtis and I love Wagner, but I'm not comfortable with rookies starting on the offensive line unless you just got a trash ass team and the win and losses don't matter. Because like I said, every rookie has to make mistakes in order to get better and learn. That's just the nature of life. You have to make mistakes to learn what not to do. It's a teaching point. And you get a lot of mistakes making as a rookie because it's your first time. It's like if I threw you in the kitchen and if I tell you, look, this is how you make gumbo, and I throw you in there and say make gumbo, I guarantee your first pot ain't gonna be shit. You're gonna leave something out. You know what I mean? You might cook the shrimp and shit too long. You might throw the shrimp in first, and you don't want to do that because it don't take long to cook shrimp. And if you cook it too long, it becomes rubbery. So you might, you know what I mean? You might make mistakes like that. Forget to clean your crab. You know what I mean? You just throw it straight out the packet to the pot. Nah. You better get them hairs off that shit. You know what I mean? There's a lot of shit that goes into making gumbo, all kind of ingredients. You might have left out the celery or the the cumin or the gumbo fillet. You know what I mean? You might not quite know how to make your roux unless you go buy your roux. But yeah, to make it your flour and oil, you got to learn how to do that and strain that shit. It takes perfection. That's exactly like a rookie, bro. That's what rookies do. You're gonna make your mistakes to learn what not to do. You know what I mean? You might leave out some shit your first time trying to make it, and then the next time you be like, "Hey, I ain't gonna forget that again. I remember my bell peppers and my onions." You know what I mean? But yeah, man, they have to bump their head to learn how to duck when they go through the doorway. You know what I mean? They got to learn not to put their hand on the stove because that motherfucker hot. So yeah, maybe you go out there and look for a veteran tackle or offensive tackle like Moulton said that possibly could be released or before it become released, you trade for. See, there's going to be teams that's going to be so deep out of position that if they can get an asset back rather than release them and get nothing, but trade them and get something for them, you know what I mean? That's what you do. You said Parker going to get cut. Parker gone, ain't he? Brandon Parker is gone, man. He's on the IR. Well, no, they did a fucking injury settlement. No, I don't think he on IR. They did a settlement. They paid him off. You know what I mean? I think that clears him off clears his cap number. Let me see something real quick. I thought that's what I heard, that they had an injury settlement. Over the cap. It's going to be interesting, boy. There's going to be a lot of shaking and baking going on all the way up until Tuesday. All right, let me see some. I'm curious about what our salary cap situation is too, though. We got $4.5 million in cap space. Let me see something. What the fuck? Just give me 1 minute. I'm looking up something real quick. Let's see. Here we go. Dead money. Yeah, man, I don't even see it on there, so I don't think he counts towards the roster or cap number because I don't see him on the cap numbers at all. For Isaiah Simmons, hey, you never know who we trade for, bruh. It might be a name that we never even thought about. Like, we got who? Because you know how Ziggler worked. Ziggler be in the kitchen with the pot with the birds in the with the birds in the kitchen, palms itching. You feel me? Shout out to Sebo. You know what I mean? Fucking Ziggler really be cooking for real. Prescott, Rush, and Lance. See, Rush. Yeah, you traded for Lance. You traded for a third-string quarterback? Because to me, didn't Rush start a few games for the Cowboys last year when Prescott was down and did solid? I don't fuck the Cowboys. It don't even matter what the fuck they do. I don't even follow their ass. Hell, you follow the Cowboys, you just gonna walk in circles. You said trade Teamer. You know what? I forgot about the other. We could trade some. I forgot about who we could trade. I'm up here thinking about who we can acquire and not knowing, bruh, we got some trade bait too, though, to be honest with you. Teamer did look good in this preseason, though. But can he be consistent with it? You know what I mean? Like I said, you got to pretty much give these guys the first year in the hole. You know what I mean? They start off in the hole with the first year because you got to teach these guys a system, and then the front office got to analyze the players that we do have, who fits what we're trying to do, who doesn't, who we can move, who we bring in to replace them to fit what we're exactly. Because like I said, and even announcers were saying this last night, they was like, this Raiders defense is better than last year, hands down. The defense is better than last year with the talent that they acquired and the way they getting out there around, and just like the secondary. There's no, and they were breaking that down last night. They said there's just no receivers are open. That's why it took a quarterback to be the leading rusher of the team. You know what I mean? Because coverage didn't break down. The up front in the trenches, we broke down trying to get to the quarterback, letting him get in them lanes rather than staying in your gap. You know what I mean? You ain't got to chase him around. Keep him in front of you. You know what I mean? Don't over pursue. You know what I mean? Don't take bad angles. That's what you got to do against a mobile quarterback. Because week one, guess who we faced? Russell Wilson. He's mobile. You know what I mean? He's mobile. Then we got Buffalo next the following week. Mobile quarterback. So you better get in to understanding how you stay within your gap and not over pursue and take bad angles when the quarterback want to tuck it and run. Secondary gonna do their job. You know what I mean? But like I said last night, you can't really measure last night because those are a lot of guys that ain't gonna be here. They're fighting for the roster, and then you see why some of them ain't gonna make the roster because of lack of production. So you know what I mean? I don't really read into last night. As a Raider fan, we look into last night as far as the position battles at the bottom of that position, who's fighting to get that last spot. That's what I was looking at. That's why Wilkerson, I gave him the last spot on the wide receivers. 2 weeks in a row, this dude out there killing it. But I think him being in New England system for 3 years is a big factual. And then the fact that O'Connell had comfort in throwing him the ball, that's, man, 13 targets? And that was only, what, O'Connell only played, what, 3.5 quarters? Hey, Garbers, I know Garbers is gone. He'll probably get back on the practice squad. And I really believe we keep three. Well, you know what? Yep, 3 quarterbacks. Because don't forget the third quarterback ain't going to cost a dime. He ain't going to count towards the roster. That's the third emergency. You make O'Connell the third emergency. That's what you do. Keep him suited up. Keep him with the game. You know what I mean? Keep him with the quarterbacks. Keep him in the flow of the game. Because you never know. You never know. I'm not a big fan of Hoyer, but with the offensive line, and I don't think Garoppolo will stay healthy, bruh. I ain't got no fear in that. I think that was a Niner. The Niners are cursed. Every quarterback it seemed like they had and got hurt. They're cursed. They are cursed. And we can go back all the way to what? Alex Smith. Didn't Alex Smith get hurt? And that's how fucking what's his name? God dang it. Took his spot. And then they end up Alex Smith going to Kansas City. Same shit. It's like they always get hurt. And it's not just the quarterbacks, all they fucking positions get hurt. What's the defensive end they got from Kansas City? Was it Ford? Ford was hurt for a long ass time. Deebo Samuels was hurt for a long time. Then they had a Bosa was hurt. Bosa's still holding out, ain't he, for the Niners? Yeah, he fucking Mr. Fragile. No, the 53-man roster, yeah, but because you only can dress down, what is it, 40? Is it 48 people you can dress down? You only can dress down 48 players on game day. So that third quarterback he will be the 49th. If I remember, let me see. I'm trying to remember numbers off the dome, bro. Because not all the 53 are available to play on game day. You can't dress down all 53 and they're all active. How many players in the NFL can be active for game day? $46. Only 46 are active. So I guess I'm assuming that it would be 47 with a third quarterback that you can have on game day. So you can have 47 players because that 47 does not count towards the active players because he's the emergency and he only there to be a quarterback. He can't be nothing else. I told you, Casper. Hey, for real. Every quarterback, bruh. And then if you go back and watch how Garoppolo got hurt, 2 fucking defenders got on his ass. One was untouched and the other one beat his man. And they both got the Garoppolo, tackled him from behind and on his foot. Man, they fucking... That's why they want more quarterbacks in San Francisco. Get away. So they can get away from that weak-ass offensive line they got. Like, hey, bro, as quarterback here, Purdy, you're going to have to do a lot of running because, we're putting all the money in the other positions. We're putting all the money on the defensive line. And that's what it is. Because didn't they sign the defensive tackle from Philadelphia? Hargrove? Was that who it was? I can't remember. They spending money on that defensive line, bro. And the quarterback is getting fucking shook with no offensive protection. That's crazy. That's crazy as shit to do that, bro. Motherfuckers going cheap on the O-line. He said the Irish water pistol. What'd you say? Water pistol. Wait a minute. You think O'Connell as a rookie is gonna come in and look like a starter in this system? This offensive system. The same system everybody say is difficult. Ain't O'Connell supposed to ace and look like a starter? Bruh, he's supposed to look like a backup, bruh. You know what I mean? He's supposed to. And you got to remember, he ain't played with he ain't got to throw the motherfucking Adams or Renfro or he had Mayer. You know what I mean? But he's a rookie too, learning. But you didn't have Hooper. You know what I mean? You didn't have fucking Jacoby Myers. You know what I mean? You didn't have Josh Jacobs to hand off to or the starting offensive line. How you supposed to look? Like every quarterback behind everybody that wasn't a starter looked like a backup. Or worse. You know what I mean? Hey, bro. Hey, that's what happens when you specifically put dollar amount at other positions that you fit. You know what I mean? That O-line is very important, bro. For a quarterback, you show me a good ass quarterback that won Super Bowls that didn't have a good old O-line. And that includes the run game. If you got a bomb-ass run game, you got a good-ass offensive line, bro, opening them holes. Everybody say, well, Josh Jacobs, he can make people miss. Okay, well, let's play a game where you have no O-line, just a center. Let him hike the ball, and let's see how good he can wiggle and get past these defensive linemen with no offensive linemen blocking for him. Let's see how many yards he averaged. You know what I mean? Come on, bro. Everything works together as a team. We need all 11 men to work in unison for that shit to work. All it takes is one person to not do their job, and that's it. You got 11 men on the field, right? If the quarterback can't throw the ball to the receiver, what you got? If the running back can't hit the hole and get yardage, what you got? If your offensive lineman can't block, what you got? If your offensive center can't hike the ball over your head too low, what you got? You know what I mean? Everybody has to do their job to make this. That's why football is the ultimate sport. Because they all got to do their job at the same time. It ain't like basketball where, you know what I mean, you play defense and offense, but you come down the court on offense, you're running down the court and just moving around to get open. There's not really no job. I mean, when you run plays, there's certain jobs, but everybody, okay, we need you to stay out here on the side of this arc. You know what I mean? We need you down in the post. You know what I mean? We need you at the top of the key. Hey, but football, from the hike, everybody got a different job. Once you hike that ball, it's on. Everybody doing their own shit, but they all got to do their own shit right for it to work. Yeah, you playing against the Cowboys too, but who are you playing with? Who was O'Connell playing with? You know what I mean? Did we have Colton Miller out there? I know for a minute, the game week 2, they had the starters. You know what I mean? When they started the game, but they had O'Connell wasn't out there. That was Garoppolo. You got to remember when the preseason started with that game in week 1, you had O'Connell out there. Week 2, you had Garoppolo. Then it was Hoyer. Then O'Connell came in. So who was O'Connell playing against the Rams when he came in the game as the third string quarterback? After the first half and quarter or first half was gone? Who did the Rams put in there? You know what I mean? And then you go against Dallas. Dallas had a couple of tools out there. You know what I mean? You had Greer, the quarterback. That motherfucker getting cut. He was just out there trying to show off for other teams because when he get cut, he's going to be a free agent. Unless somebody claim him, they might claim his ass. Or the Dallas might get lucky and get to trade him. But we'll see. But like I said, it's not a regular... Nothing in last night's game mirrored anything from a regular season game, period. Not even the play call. The play call was so vanilla. You did not see 1-2 tight end sets, and we do that. You know what I mean? You didn't see none of that. You said that you seen the same basic plays last night as you seen in week 1 and week 2 of the preseason. Simplified. Because even Ziegler and McDaniel said that shit. They're not out there running the playbook. They're not even scripting plays. They're just going out there playing. Oh, no. Right now, yes. Okay, most definitely. O'Connell ain't ready. That's why I said you got to develop him. See, everybody want to crown him on. We need to have him compete against Jimmy G for the starting. Are you fucking serious? You want O'Connell to try to battle Jimmy G for the starting job? Like already? Bruh, he's still developing, bruh. I don't know. I mean, that's one thing. Sometimes we premature ejaculate. You know what I mean? We come before we want to come to the game. See, they can't mark me with that one. COME. You know, we come before we want to come. The COME. Yeah, wink, wink. But stop trying to crown people before they earn it. Let them earn it. Like, for instance, Josh Jacobs earned the crown at running back. He earned it. He earned it. He's not a rookie that just came out there, and not even matter of fact, he's not a rookie this year who ain't even touched the ball in a live game yet, and we just say, "Oh, he the best." Hey, Josh Jacobs is the best ever. No, it took 4 years for him to develop. Let O'Connell develop. Stop rushing this guy, man. I keep trying to tell people they get so high on the hog about Aiden O'Connell because of the potential he shows. But at this point, it's only potential. Let them develop this dude, man. Stop rushing him because you're gonna end up ruining a career before it even gets started. Tragedy turned triumph, man. Salute to you. So like I said, man, I agree with you though, man. Hey, he's not ready yet, bro. I never said he was ready, but like I said, his production against the lower tier defenders and lower tier offense he played in, you got to take it with a grain of salt, man. You can't get overly excited and shoot your load too early, bro. That you don't want to do that shit. I didn't say he's going to take you to a Super Bowl. That's not how this team is built. This team ain't built for a quarterback to take you to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? This team is built for the quarterback to be one of the pieces that it takes to go to the Super Bowl. This is a machine as a whole type situation, bro. I've been telling people this. It's not individual in this offense or defense. Like they say, the machine as a whole is greater than the sum of its parts. That means it's greater than any individual player on this team. It's what do they do collectively together. Like, for instance, Garoppolo ain't going to go out there and look like Tom Brady, but all you need him to do is take care of the ball, get the ball to your playmakers. You don't have to make the big play. Let your playmakers make the big play and be highly efficient in the red zone. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to thread the needle. You ain't got to play double dutch. You ain't got to play pin the tail on the donkey. You ain't got to do none of that shit. Don't turn the ball over and get your playmakers the ball. Let Adams take a 5-yard reception and make it 15-20. Let Renfro break the ankles on the defender and get open and sit down in the pocket to move the chains on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4. Let Mayer get a chip block, come out to the sideline, and bam, catch the ball for a first down. Keep the chains moving. You don't need O'Connell. You don't need Garoppolo. You don't need none of them to come out there and be, ooh, he's the next coming of Tom Brady. That's not what we need in the system. You just need somebody who's competent, completes his plays, takes care of the ball, and be super efficient in the red zone. Look at Jimmy G. I want you guys to look at all quarterbacks and their efficiency in the red zone. Tell me what Jimmy G is ranked all time. Go look at it. I ain't got to tell y'all. Who's the most efficient quarterback in the red zone, and where is Jimmy G ranked in that question? We talk about all time. Not last year, the year before, all time in the red zone. What is Jimmy G ranked in efficiency? He's top 3. Look it up. Top 3. Like I say, it's a combination. That's what we lacked last year. We were 27th in the league last year in red zone efficiency. That means we were settling for field goals and not touchdowns inside the 20. You can't win that way. Especially on a team last year that averaged 23.3 points a game. You know, the leading team in the NFL in scoring last year was Kansas City at 29. So you mean we're only less than 6 points behind Kansas City? That's the difference of a touchdown. How many touchdowns did we not get in the red zone and settle for a field goal? You see what I mean? And that difference of points, we lost 6 games last year by less than a touchdown. 1 touchdown more, we would have won those 6 games. 1 more touchdown. 1 more touchdown. We could have easily averaged 30 points a game if we were efficient in the red zone, and we were not. We weren't. 27th out of 32 teams is what we ranked in the red zone last year. You can't win games, bruh. If I'm trying to get 7, I got to settle for 3. So that long ass drive that we just had that ate up 5-6 minutes on the clock was for 3 points. What you think the outcome gonna be? I don't want Caleb Williams. I'm not even tripping off of Caleb Williams. In order to get Caleb Williams, you must be the worst team in the NFL next year. Or trade away all your draft picks to move up to number one. But if that number one team that has the number one pick needs a quarterback, they ain't trading shit. See, that's the flip side of that coin. I'm not a USC fan, bro. I don't care about the big name quarterback. You know what I mean? I'm not really tripping off of that. I'm tripping off the team as a whole. If we are a balanced team, our offense last year was ranked 12th. Our defense was where? 28th? So if you averaging 23 points a game and you giving up 30, do the math, bro. How many of those games you gonna win? Your defense giving up 30 points a game, but your offense scoring 23. That's what I'm saying. You got to be a balanced ass team, man. Look at how Philadelphia team looks. Balanced. They're just young. They're young. You know what I mean? They're very young. But that's Philadelphia, though. They gotta come into their own. But they're very balanced on both sides of the ball. No wonder they made the Super Bowl. They're like, well, they still lost to Kansas City. How much Kansas City gave? It barely. You know what I mean? They still threw 30-something points on Kansas City. And, of course, Kansas City got to outscore everybody because their defense ain't the greatest. You know, they were playing with rookie corners last year in the secondary. Like I said, I was never big on quarterbacks. I mean, as many quarterbacks as in the league, man, and you keep hearing Mahomes. Jalen Hurts ain't fully developed yet. He made it to the Super Bowl. He took his team to the Super Bowl, and he's not a Patrick Mahomes. He's not an Aaron Rodgers. So I mean, there's more. What they say, there's more than one way to skin a cat. You could be heavy on defense and be dominant, keeping teams to only 10 points a game. Oh, you got action then, like the 2000 Baltimore Ravens. You know what I mean? Keeping the score. Hey, if you can't score, we don't have to score a lot. If you keeping teams to 10 points, all you need is a touchdown and 2 field goals, and you won the game. And we got a kicker, as you seen last night. Hey, shout out to the 62-yard field goal last night. That motherfucker got a leg on him, boy. Oh, my God. So you don't think the Raiders will run professionally? You don't think Ziegler and them know what they're doing? I mean, some people are sometimes they're blinded by hate. And what I mean by that is it's kind of like racism. Like you hate people for something that don't have shit to do with nothing. Like you hate McDaniels and Ziegler and them because they were Patriots. It's kind of like hating somebody for the color of their skin because they were Patriots. That's where they got hired at. But what is their work? What is their background? What is their, you know what I mean? Their workload. What did they do? And it's like, if you ever want to improve your team, don't you go for the people that's best at doing that, regardless? Or you want to get a first time, like for instance, where did Bieniemy was with the Kansas City, right? Supposed to be the next best thing. He went Washington, right? You know the players are complaining about him already, right? They're complaining like a motherfucker about his ass in Washington. They don't like him because they said he pretty much hid behind the head coach. But we know that McDaniels didn't hide behind fucking old ass what's his name, because he let this motherfucker call the play. He's not an offensive dude. It's easy to be a head coach that's an offensive play caller to hide your like, for instance, We know Lombardi ain't the play caller for us. He's the offensive coordinator, but who's calling the plays? Let's keep it a buck. But see, if you remember when Josh McDaniels was brought on to the Raiders and they interviewed him, he gave you the game plan. The game plan is not for him to call the plays forever. They said for the first few years, he's going to call the plays, and then they're going to hand over that job to the offensive coordinator, which is Lombardi. Lombardi is being groomed right now. Now, Lombardi called the plays last night. That was a chance to give him an opportunity. Just like you send Patrick Graham to the Senior Bowl to be the head coach of the Senior Bowl so he can get his feet wet with being a head coach. They're grooming these guys, man. Like I said, he Ben said that shit. He wants to focus on coaching the team, but this is his system. Year one, you must implement your system. Year two, you still got to come behind it because there's new additions. So they said within the first few years, probably 3, 4, who knows, he's going to hand the play calling over to the offensive coordinator and be done with it. But it's his system to implement. See, we got to be realistic with Pyro, my dude, man. Top of the morning to you. Robert Pena, everybody, shout out to everybody that's here, man. We having a good conversation this morning. Shout out to Casper. Shout out to everybody out there participating. Raider Twan in the building, man. Thank you for being here. Yes, indeed. Walt in the building, man. What's the deal? You saw from Silver and Black today after the preseason loss saying we should. Are you fucking serious? Oh my God. Walt, are you serious? Nah, bro. I don't believe in tanking. I don't believe in that, man. That's quitting. I don't never believe in quitting. See, everybody, people that know me, this is my breakdown of quitting. What if the day you decide to quit was the day before you were supposed to succeed? You would never know because you quit. You quit. Why start tanking? What if we have a team that's able, I ain't saying win the Super Bowl, but have a team able to fight for a playoff spot? I mean, if we win about 10 games this year, we're in the mix. What you want to tank? Man, I tell you, everybody got that Caleb Williams, man. Hey, stop drinking the fucking Kool-Aid. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Not all good quarterbacks coming out of college is going to succeed in the NFL. Only 50% in the first round drafted succeed. 50%, only half. I can tell you a whole shitload of number one overall draft picks they didn't do shit. You know what I mean? None of them did shit. But in college, they was the shit. You know what I mean? Come on now. We know Johnny Football. What happened to Johnny Football? Jamarcus Russell. Joey Harrington. Come on, bruh. Where's what's his name? Griffin III. Have him taking advantage of his mobility, cost him his career. All them fucking injuries. You know what I mean? Michael Vick was great. How many Super Bowls Michael Vick played in? Nada. Not one. Period. They made it to the NFC Championship with Atlanta. Nope. No Super Bowl. How many Super Bowls did McNabb win? 0. None. Nada. You know what I mean? We can go looking at our history. It don't even take a great look at Jim Plunkett, drafted by the New England Patriots. End up going to San Francisco, sat out a year, a matter of fact, come to the Raiders in his early 30s, win 2 Super Bowls. It's about the collective. It's not an individual sport. It's the only sport where you got 53 motherfuckers on the team. It's the only sport with 53 people on a team, and nobody plays both offense and defense. You need everybody. One person ain't going to do it for you. It ain't going to do it for you. You got to have a defense, a run game, a good system to run in, to pass in, good defenders, good coaching, who's done it and been there and know how to do it. Look, it took It took Reed to fuck up in Philadelphia to go to Kansas City to get it right. But everybody getting on the motherfucking heads of McDaniels failing in Denver. You gotta fail to succeed. Without failure, there is no success. None. I told y'all about Kobe. Kobe Bryant wasn't shit going into the NBA out of high school. Period. He became great because of his work ethic and what he put into it, and the people around him. Don't forget the coaching. So it's like chemistry. You got to have the right combination of players to make this shit work. It has to be. You have to unlock the defense, the offense. It has to be unlocked. You got to have the right combination. You can't just throw anybody out there and be like, do this. They might not fit what you do. If that was the case, then you would have had Peyton Manning running RPOs. Can you imagine that? Peyton Manning running RPOs? We're going to run options, okay? Peyton Manning running an option, he don't fit that system, bro. That's why I said you can't force feed nobody. You can't force fit anybody into a system. It must be someone that fits what you're trying to do. So I don't care what Caleb Williams is. He is not going to fit every system. You know what I mean? And you're not promised that he's going to be successful in the NFL. It just, come on now. It takes more than just God-given ability. Marcus Russell had an arm out of this world, but guess what he lacked? He lacked work ethic. He lacked dedication. And without those two things, and you just got God-given ability, you're throwing 80-yard bombs to nobody. Throwing 80-yard bombs to the other team. You know what I mean? Come on, bruh. That was it. Jamarcus Russell's motivation was money, not success. Let's keep it in perspective. So it all depends on a person's, not their physical ability. What do they bring to the table? You know what I mean? What is their work ethic? What is their focus? What is their motivation? That's it. So with that being said, man, I appreciate each and every one of you guys pulling up this morning, man. I had fun. Hey, all y'all make a lot of good points, for real. Shout out to Walt. Shout out to Casper. Shout out to Raider Twan in the building, man. Shout out to G-Ware. I hope I say this right. G-Ware B. I hope I got that right, man. Joel E, my dude, tops to you. Pyro in the building. Yes, indeed, man. Hey, we had a good conversation, man. I shout out to each and every one of y'all. I will be back tomorrow morning. It will be, what's today? Sunday? Monday. Yep. Monday morning, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. It'll be the Good Morning Raider Nation live podcast, man. We live every weekday at 7 a.m., man. Pull on up with your boy. Hang out. Once again, if you have not done so, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up, man. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, man. Hey, let's see what kind of moves we got coming behind this last preseason game. Let's see if we make trades, if we go sign some free agents off of other rosters, or if we trade people and get, you know what I mean, and get rid of who we get rid of and be surprised like, oh, shit, they let Michael Jordan go? You know what I mean? So with that being said, man, you guys enjoy your Sunday. Be safe. If you leave the house, make it back to your loved ones safe and one piece, man. Hey, thank y'all for being a part of this podcast, man. I appreciate y'all. I will see you guys tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern, right here at Raiders Allegiance. It's your boy, Lunatic Raider. Hey, God bless y'all. Hey, I'm out this B-I-N. You know it.